And we say it's about that time. Well, this is history in the making. We've on the R&B podcast, and it is good that we can all make it today. How is everyone doing this fine evening or afternoon or day?
Good evening, all.
Good to
Okay.
be back. I'm excited to get into the battle today. How y'all doing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited too.
Yes. I wonder if we are. I mean, we before we into music news and stuff. What did you guys make? I would be honest. I did not think Jagged Edge was going to out beat 112. I was shocked that Jagged Edge is as popular as that. Um, but hey, we are. I mean, I know Lorena, you would better that Jagged Edge was going to be in this top 10. But Stevie, were you surprised that they beat 112?
I
Nope.
was, I was shocked.
Not at all.
Yeah, but 112 had the hits.
Yeah,
Jagged Edge has the longevity. They've got the catalog, and they've been steady. But I the 112 were the more mainstream, and they had the bigger hits. So I was shocked that people. I mean, it was 2-1 that people preferred Jagged Edge.
I think what you're forgetting is Jagged Edge were the last male vocal group of the 90s. They came out about 1999, and they moved very well into the early 2000s. Obviously, they had Sony, they had Jermaine Dupri behind them, So Def. They had a very strong run of albums. You know, some good club hits, some good ballads, radio ballads. You know, 112 were the same, Dru Hill were the same. But I think Jagged Edge just took that baton out of the 90s very well into the 2000s. We can discuss more on that
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah. I mean, Lorena, you're a massive Jagged Edge fan. Why did you pick why did you think that um, they were actually going to be a lot more popular?
Well, I was surprised that it was Dru Hill versus Jagged Edge. I thought it was going to be 112 versus Jagged Edge because they're
Yeah,
usually put like
I agree.
against each other. But I feel like Jagged Edge has been consistent with the music, and I feel like they have a lot of like diehard fans. But even though maybe like some of their later music isn't as mainstream as it was before, um, I just feel like they still have a big, like a very solid fan base.
Yeah. What about you, Day?
I was shocked because but she made a great point that I didn't know that people put 112 and Jagged Edge together. But now, when you listen to the discography of Dru Hill, you're like, can 112, handle this or what? But I was definitely shocked because when I think of Dru Hill, in like mainstream guy groups of like the 90s, I think of like Dru Hill, 112, Jodeci, like in the later 90s. And Stevie just mentioned that Jagged Edge came out like what,
No, it's
1999.
97 actually. Their first album came out. Yeah,
Okay,
I'm just looking. Yeah,
but yeah, I'm still shocked though, but I'm happy Dru Hill made the cut.
yeah. Stevie, I mean, as I said, I mean, and Mike, welcome. I would say that like with Dru Hill, 112 had the the hits, the records that were pumping over. Well, and say I can only talk about being listening to them 97. So I was in the Midwest, and then I moved to LA. So on those radio stations, 112 were probably a lot more prominent, and even on MTV, sorry, MTV BET. Um, but Dru Hill has 10, sorry, Jagged Edge 10 albums. 10 albums. I mean, I think they just released their 11th one, sorry, 11 albums, which was, I think, a year ago.
No,
They
this year.
This year, so they've
Yeah.
released 11 albums. So that's some serious catalog. Dru Hill, on the other hand, they only did two albums as the original crew. They did a third one with I think it was a Scola joining them, and then they did they did a fourth one that was that Woody wasn't there. So it and then their sound changed after their second two albums. So it was almost like the label didn't back them. So, but they got enough big hits that I think if you think mainstream, if you're doing a poll, most people will know Dru Hill, maybe because of Cisco, than Jagged Edge. I almost compare them to like the second version, the second grade of Boyz II Men and Jodeci. You know, Jodeci were more of the community. Everyone loved Jodeci, but Boyz II Men made, had the bigger ballads and records that kind of crossed over.
I just thought that the first album, I just thought they were Jodeci imposters. That's what this. I mean, the first album, it's a good album. It's a solid album, but it's very Jodeci sounding. And then after that, they just felt very gimmicky to me. I don't know, is it just me who thinks that? They just felt like a gimmick. Cisco became a caricature of himself with his hairdo and his dance moves and everything. But after the first album, I think the second album, they tried to go really big. But the albums just seem to fall off the edge of a cliff for me. They really do. Fall off the edge of a cliff.
Okay.
Like, what's going on here? You know what I mean? It's a bit.
Okay. Well,
I'm a bit harsh there.
Well, I mean, just before.
All right, let's go really hardcore here. Who connected? I'm not talking about like crossover hits or anything. Who connected more as a group with the black community in America? Was it Jagged Edge or Dru Hill? I thought it was Jagged Edge.
Dru Hill. I would say Dru Hill.
I would say it's Dru Hill. I think Jagged Edge was very sudden. I mean, their sound, their stuff was very Atlanta, Dru Hill were very I mean, everybody. I mean, we're going to go through our songs, but from from Sleeping in My Bed, Tell Me, Never Make a Promise, all those ballads really were a lot more mainstream. As I said, two major albums had enough major hits, and they were on Def Jam. So there was a lot of money behind them, pushing them. It was just the fact that I don't know. I mean, Woody would say, for him is that, he started the group with Cisco when they were in secondary school or high school. And he said Cisco was just like that when they were in high school with the hair. And he was almost, people thought he was weird because he was just so eccentric. And Cisco was into Jodeci while Woody was into Boyz II Men. They bought both cassettes and they swapped them. And they really built their sound on both groups before they recruited Nokia and Jazz.
He's very flamboyant, isn't he? I mean, he has got a lot of he's got a lot of sellability, hasn't he? That's why he went solo as well.
Yeah, but he was like that. As I said, if you think he was like that when he was about 14, so it's not an act. It's how he has always been. That sense of he's just he was doing other stuff. I think the reason why they broke, Woody left, was because they signed all their publishing away. And from Woody's point of view is that the only person who doesn't really sing in the group but knew the business was Nokia. And he, and they were writing songs together, but Nokia knew how to navigate that side. And so when they were selling all these albums and stuff, Woody wasn't seeing the checks, and he was getting pushed aside with the group that he started. So he left, went gospel, but Def Jam tried to sabotage that album, and so he came back. But he just said it was just too much. He just felt like I'd rather just work in a factory than put up with this. So, yes. So that's why he left. But I think Jagged Edge were just consistent. So if I'm looking at their sales here, Dru Hill had on Def Jam they had 3 albums on Def Jam. The first one went platinum. The second one, Enter the Dru, went double platinum. And the third one, Dru World Order, went gold. And then Dru Independence was released on Kedar Entertainment Group in 2010. But that was, that was 8 years after their third album. Whereas Jagged Edge, their first album went gold in '97. J.E. Heartbreak sold 2 million. Jagged Little Thrill sold 1 million. Hard went gold. But they still stayed on So So Def up till I'm just looking at it, up to 2007. And so they released 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 albums with So So Def. So they, well, actually, 6 albums with them. So it looks as if they were able to stay consistent and put their stuff out. Yes. So we will go through the battles and the songs. Dio, welcome. J Hard, welcome. But before we just get into that, music news, anything that's been out in the music industry news that anyone wants to share before, so people can sort of get into it? Anything?
Yeah, I'll start a new. Well, I don't know how long she's been around, but Olivia Dean I would say she has a lot of jazz influences in her music. She's been making waves across the music scene. Her songs and new albums have been going platinum on every social media platform, and I believe she was just nominated for an award, I believe. And also, there has just been recent news of Alexander O'Neal, the creator of one of the most famous song Sunshine, being taken to the hospital. So prayers to Alex O'Neal.
Yeah, goodness. I mean, I think Steve, he used to come to England quite a bit, performing in little venues, but
he's been living in Manchester, my home city, for years.
Okay,
but he's had troubles with his health for quite a long time now. You know, extensive drug use, just age-related health issues. Sad, his voice is gone. He's living on past memories. I think he did his last tour. Was it last year? It was like the final goodbye. It's just so really sad. Listen, we just hope he makes a recovery and gets out of hospital. That's all we can say on that.
Yeah, he's got a very, very supportive wife who has been supporting him and the elements of business and touring and his health. And so, if not, I mean, if you've seen his own song, he was open about his drug use and everything, but no one can take away that he was so classic, and he's quite popular, as I said, over here. Yes.
Anyway, Ade, you've been busy. I believe you've been making the new Ted 3 movie or something, haven't you? Ted 3 comedy movie. What's going on? What's been going on? Where have you been? You left us. Hanging. Now you're back.
No, Mike. I remember talking to Namdi. I was like, Namdi, I just really need a job right now. So I ended up getting about 2-3 of them and just trying to save, to move out, of course. And I recently did a TED Talk on African American music history, which I really had fun doing, and of course doing my favorite thing, preserving artists' legacies and giving artists their flowers. And yeah, just been very, very busy.
Wow.
But I'm back. Yeah.
What about you, Lorraine? You're always on the pulse with new music. Have you got any recommendations for us?
Oh, there is a song that I really enjoyed that came out. I don't know if I could pronounce his name properly.
Ooh.
I think it's El Mean.
Oh, really yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he has a song that so the latest song he came out with was Cry Against the Wind. It's a really good song if you guys want to check it out. He spells his name Elmiene. Really good artist.
I got that sent actually to my mailbox on Friday, and I didn't listen to it, so I need to check that out. Have you heard of this rather crazy artist?
Is that Ghostface Killer's son?
Yeah, Infinite Cold. It's be careful what I say, because we don't want to get bandingoed by YouTube. But it's definitely she, whatever you want to put that in, he, she. Fantastic rapper, really good rapper. The album covers, it's like something that's a lot of these new female artists. Why do they all look like they're coming out of a horror movie, like FK Twigs? And they all look like they're in a horror movie, don't they? I don't get it. But there's a track on here called Dad and I, talks about the issues with his dad and how his dad has abandoned him. But it's done in a very mid-90s hip-hop song, New Jack production way. It'll surprise a lot of you. I was like, whoa, this is really good. And sing, can really rap. The opening track, it's very dance, it's a good beat, good percussion, but very potty mouth, but the rapping's really strong. Olivia Dean, though, you're right. Olivia Dean's songwriting is unbelievable. You know, you can relate back to Sade and some of the Tracy Chapman. She'll go along them lines. I think her album. Well, this particular album, I think, will stand the test of time. It'll be selling in about 30 years' time. The vinyls for like hundreds and hundreds of pounds soon if you don't grab one now. So I would grab an album now, get the vinyl, and just keep it, not play it. It'll be worth money soon.
Okay. And Joseph, what's up? And last exit to Brooklyn. And yes, Joseph was right. Christopher Williams, a day you saw him in Nashville. How was he? How did he sound?
Oh, yes.
He was really good. He sounds the same. Like he has that voice has been kept intact. He's moving across the stage. Nice. You know, his outfits were really nice. He spoke about his upcoming project, which is like a spin-off from his character in New Jack City, which I'm very excited to see. And yeah, really great guy, really sweet, very smooth. And yeah, I think his new single, Good Enough, is really good too. So keep up with Chris.
I would tell you guys, I was due to interview him, and 10 minutes before we're supposed to go live, I get an email from his publicist saying, "Oh, that we have to reschedule." That week was the week where Jaguar Wright went around saying, spreading those rumors, and so I was going to be the first person he was going to interview, and so I think there was a nervousness around, is this going to feed into that? And so he cancelled, and then I think 3 months later he was hospitalized. He was hospitalized and went into that coma and stuff. And then he came out, and I said, "Okay, well, are we ready to interview?" He said, "Okay, when he gets stuff happening." But what has happened is that he's gone from that time he was, just almost like doing little gigs here and there, so to now where he's got a lot of backing, and so all of a sudden it's like, no, it's not that the chances miss, but it's good to see that he's made this major comeback and he's got a lot of stuff happening. But if I look back at our email when it's like, Chris, we have to reschedule, and then that moment didn't come. Same thing with Keith Sweat, those moments. So if I was to tell you all the people that I had, the guy from Loose Ends, McIntosh, I can't remember his first name.
Carl
McIntosh. I was on Zoom, so I was getting ready to add him on to join in, and he dropped off and didn't come back. So I've had many of those incidences when over the past 5 years doing this stuff.
That's what you got to put with with media, with radio, with YouTube interviews. The amount of times I've try to lock down radio interviews or waiting for the artist to call in live in and they don't. I know all about it now.
Yeah, so
you don't call and you're left hanging, and the listeners are like, you've just told the listeners, building them up to this interview, and then they don't bother calling in. You look a complete idiot. You're live on air, so I get it even worse, mate. So I know how you feel.
So yeah, but I do wish Christopher well and Uptown Forever and stuff. All right.
What's that guy called who used to do Video Soul? And
Donnie Simpson.
Yeah, until you reach the status of Donnie Simpson, mate, which you're nearly there now. You're about 75% there, mate. Once you reach the status, mate, you won't be getting any knockbacks. Don't worry.
I think that's my wow moment, sitting down interviewing Donnie Simpson, and just listening to the guy just talk about all the stuff. So yeah, and it's glad to see he's back. But anyway, Jagged Edge, Dru Hill. I will say I listened to I think maybe listen to all their albums, all of Dru Hill's, their 4 albums. I think I listened to 8 of Jagged Edge's albums over the past week.
Wow.
Driving.
Must
So
be
I mean,
great.
I didn't just get the hits and just say, let me just the best of and just listen to the hits. I went through and listened to the albums, and I must say that it was harder listening to Jagged Edge because it felt like they had a pocket and how they sang, and things were similar, and it was a lot of don't worry, Alice. She's not. He shouldn't treat you badly. I'm there for you, and it was very much that. And then I think with Dru Hill, there's a variance in their production, variance in their style of music. So it was easier. So when I'm driving to work in rush hour, it was easier to sort of move in between the Dru Hill songs. But I think Jagged Edge were just like that and like that. So, but because they've got so many albums and songs, it was easier to say, okay, I can pick stuff. But it was scattered. While Dru Hill concentrated on just 2 albums, their big tracks. Yes, and I think vocally, I think Dru Hill, the variety of Cisco, Jazz, and Woody taking different parts of the song, it was a little bit more. I felt a little bit more engaging. Did any of you have any other? It's just looking at me almost as if I was going to say something bad about her, Jagged Edge.
No.
I don't even know Jagged Edge had that many albums. This is new.
Wow.
Are they on Apple Music? Because that's what I use to listen to these albums. Are all 11 of them on Apple Music? Oh.
Yeah, I downloaded. I downloaded a while back all of their albums. Let me even see. Let me even see how many I've got on my. Because I think that's I've got 11 albums here. No, was it? Well, 2 of them. I've got 9 albums here, and 2 of them are greatest hits. Remedy, the Baby Making Project, Jagged Edge, Hard, Jagged Little Thrill, J.E. Heartbreak, the Jagged Era. Yeah, so it was a lot of Jagged Edge to listen to. And Dru Hill was just their first 2. A third one was okay. Yes.
Wow.
And Max says the same with 112. Once you heard, he says once you've heard on Jagged Edge song, you've heard them all. So that's what one says. Yes. But anyway, so I put my top 12. So 6 from each group. I put them in a top 12. But I did have 4 honorable mentions from each. So in a way that I could just say, here's my top 10 Jagged Edge, here's my top 10 Dru Hill at the end of everything. Benson, how you doing?
Good evening, sir.
All right. So let me go into my list and see. Okay, anything else today just before I start you?
So with the list, are we doing our top 12, from each one, or are we doing 6 and 6?
Yeah, so it would be 6 from both groups, and then we're going to put them in order, which would be from 12 down to 1.
Okay.
Yes. Now, I will also say that there were 2 remixes, Let's Get Married and In My Bed. And I counted them as one song because I didn't feel it to be fair to just say, put the remixes as 2 separate songs. So I just counted them as just one song. But
I didn't know we could do that.
Oh well, it would be unfair to say the remix of "Let's Get Married" and then you put in the ballad version of it. No, you could put anyone.
Okay, I get it.
I didn't just want to put them both in because I just felt like, well, let's be fair. Like if I liked the up tempo one more, I would have put that higher if I wanted the ballad. But just before we start, I just wanted to show that I did a poll yesterday just to find out what the community thought about Jagged Edge and 112, and as of now, 1,600 people voted. and they all thought 67% thought Dru Hill were the bigger group.
What about the initial poll that you put out though, with all three groups?
No, the initial poll. Let me see, and then 2,500 people thought Jagged Edge were bigger than 112.
So Jagged Edge won that poll, and then Dru
They
Hill
beat 112, and then Dru Hill.
I had to get that one in there, folks. I just had to get that one in there. I was only just going to mention that one poll, but no, I've got the receipts, Nandy. I've got all the receipts.
You got all the receipts.
But I think too, because Cisco is kind of like larger than life, like he's a really phenomenal like entertainer. So I think when he went solo, I think that also helped the group.
Yeah, definitely. Helped the brand, didn't it? Would have helped the brand.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I have seen Dru Hill live, and they were very, very good. As long as it was back 2011, but I thought they had the showmanship, the stage presence, the stagecraft, the dance moves. It was a really tight performance that they did. So I've got to give them credit there. They do work hard at the live
last year. They still sound good.
Yeah.
And I also said, who had your favorite remix between Dru Hill and Jagged Edge? So Sleeping in My Bed and Let's Get Married. So there's only 600 votes, and I only did it 4 hours ago. But Dru Hill was 58% preferred Sleeping in My Bed over Let's Get Married. Yeah,
it's a big remix. It's a very big remix.
Oh, wow.
What? Yeah, so it's the remix. Peep the both the songs, because Sleep in My Bed was the first one, and then Jermaine then did the remix to Let's Get Married. But I don't think it was as big as I think the Dru Hill song. I think the video and the twist at the end was like, wow, that got your attention. Then they did the remix of it, and I think, as I said, Def Jam, Def Soul were much better at pushing songs and getting it out there. Yeah. All right. So we're going to start. And number 12 for me, I still have it in my playlist. For those of you who want to know what I've been doing recently is I put all the songs together on a playlist, and as I listen, I start to shift them around. So it is really raw. So I started with number 12 for me is a Jagged Edge song. And yes, very similar. I mean, the ones that I picked are the ones that sound slightly different than the rest of them, but it's He Can't Love You. And a lot of the songs were like that, like, yeah, he's not worth it, and Come to Me, and Don't Worry Lady. But the themes are very, and I'm sure that's why women love Jagged Edge, because it's always like, come on, don't worry, I'll take care of you kind of song. But He Can't Love You is He
Can't Love You. Yeah. So that was my number 12. I liked it and stuff. I'm just saying to say that actually it was written by the Brian and Brandon Casey and produced by Cox. Brian Michael Cox?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he did a lot of work on the albums. So yeah. All right. Sorry there. So, and guys, remember, Lorraine's a little under the weather, but she came out and says, I'm just going to be here to represent for Jagged Edge. So.
So at number 12, I have a song by Dru Hill. It was actually produced and written by Warren Campbell and Nokio, and I forgot how much I love this song. So when I was listening to the album and the song came on, like I knew all the lyrics. I had to put it on repeat for a little bit. So yeah, it's one of my favorite Dru Hill songs, and that is Angel.
Wow.
Oh. Okay. I didn't know.
Yeah. And that's from Enter the Dru album. It's such a good song.
It's great.
Okay. Yeah, that was a good one. All right. So, Stevie.
If I'm really honest, I only know 3 Dru Hill tracks. To add another 3.
What?
I was really struggling. I bought all the CDs by Dru Hill. I bought them all. I've got all the Jagged Edge CDs. But I do remember the third one. There was one on the last album, that Dru Independence, that I played a lot on radio. So I'm just being honest. So I really struggled finding 6 Dru Hill tracks that I really like. So number 12, we're going to start with Dru Hill. And I think this is from their debut 1996. To be fair, I did play this CD quite a bit back then, but I just couldn't remember it apart from the hits. But I've gone with Never Make a Promise at number 12, which is that the one that sounds like Babyface?
Yeah.
Babyface ballad.
So, no, but it was actually written and produced by Dal Simmons.
Yeah, that for obvious reasons stood out to me. And I thought that's a decent track. That is a solid track, solid mid-90s R&B. So that's at number 12.
Okay. They have so many tracks. I mean, the stuff for
Listen,
Rush
in the
Hour.
90s was overloaded with male vocal R&B group, and I had so many favourites, and they just didn't. I didn't listen to 112 much either. They kind of I overlooked them. So it'd be good to go back to them, but I was all male vocaled out by 1996. I don't know.
Okay.
So, anyway, Dave, what did you get? Number 12.
I have number 12, "Healing" from Jagged Edge from their J.E. Heartbreak album.
Wow, interesting.
That didn't make my list. I don't think I'm okay.
Yeah, I got a feeling our lists are all going to be all over the place.
Yeah. Just for the sheer number of songs and stuff.
Well, I'm expecting everybody to have the same couple of Dru Hill tracks that I've got in mind that I know. I think I'd be stunned if we don't have them in our charts, but let's see anyway. And the Jagged Edge, I think it's going to be all over the place, this one.
Yeah.
Well, so my second track is so it looks as if Brandon and Brian did most of the writing for a lot of their hits, and even though Jermaine and Brian Michael Cox did the production on their tracks, but it's amazing that the twins wrote a lot of their tracks. But my number 11 is Jagged Edge. Baby, I promise. I promise.
At least he's got it in there.
Promise is at number 11. So if you think of all their songs, maybe to get into there, Promise is it was nice. But yeah, as I said, it's and I listened to it as of today. Yes, I don't try and remember. Oh, I remember what it was big like then. So, I got Joseph put in "Walking Out of Heaven" at number 11, and Dio's put "Trade In" at number 12. Okay,
good tracks, them. Good tracks.
Yeah. So, what did you What do you have at number 11?
Number 11, I have a song by Jagged Edge from their J.E. Heartbreak 2 album. And this song actually almost didn't make the album, but it's actually one of Jermaine Dupri's favorites from that album. So he convinced them to put it on, and it samples Al B. Sure's Naturally Mine. So it's the song called Love Come Down.
Oh, okay.
I forgot all about the album,
Yeah.
all about that track. Gosh, that would have been in my chart. Oh well. Yeah. Never mind. That's a good track.
I can't believe that was their 8th studio album.
Yeah.
Too many albums. This is it.
There's so many songs, so it was hard. But this is a song that I always go back to when listening to Jagged Edge, so I had to put it in there.
Wow, great pick. Great pick.
Goodness. Wow. Okay, Stevie.
Number 11, I got probably one of the most Jodeci sounding Dru Hill tracks from there. Again, I'm sticking with that first album. From 1996, I got So Special. It's got a very Jodeci,
Yeah.
like Devontae. What was the other guys that they were? It might have been produced by the other guy. I forgot his name. The DJ was here. He'd tell me, but it's got that real deep cut R&B feel to it. But yeah, So Special from Dru Hill makes my number 11.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, because they you
It was like something off Jodeci's second album on the ballads, that kind of style.
So production was by Del Person, who
That's
did
the one. That's the one.
That's why
Del
Person. So he did Feel It. He did a lot of the Diary of a not the Diary of a Madman. What's the Hotel and After Party? He did a lot of that. Guitar and everything. So I think he also did for the Whitehead Brothers 187 as well. So he didn't. Well, Kenny did the production, but he added to it. So that's why it has that sort of Jodeci sound as well. So yes, I was listening to that and I was saying this was, if you were thinking about the Jodeci ripoff, that was as close as you can get. But they didn't release it as a single, so that was a smart move. All right, today.
For my number 11, I have "Can I Get With You," Jagged Edge from their J.E. Heartbreak album.
Yes. It's got the Michael McDonald sample in it. Can I get with you?
It sounds much like what Steve is singing. So don't, if you're like thinking like, well, I don't, okay, yeah, don't worry. He's always singing off tune. But a man with so much knowledge about music, when he comes to singing,
I'm just tone deaf. I mean, actually, this afternoon I've been practicing. Fabio Jackson on IG, the fake MJ. I've been practicing his audition for the Michael Jackson. You know when he does this, when he sings Butterflies and he's going, all you got to do is answer my call. I've been practicing that all day. Yeah, Fabio Jackson's audition.
He's on TMZ now. He's goodness, fake Michael's already.
It's answer my call. He sounds as bad as me. He really does.
Oh goodness. Okay. Top 10 now. So number 10 for me is who did this one? Because I always like to see Darryl Simmons again did the writing and production like this, and Woody said that he had the best popcorn, and Darryl says yes, that he in his studio he had this amazing popcorn machine, and so people remember when you work with Darryl Simmons, you eat some amazing popcorn. But it is their own version of Promise, and it's Never Make a Promise. I just thought it was, and I think this is what I said, is that they diversified their sounds enough to be able to showcase their vocals. And I think sometimes if you have a safe formula like with with Jagged Edge having Jermaine Dupri, Brian Michael Cox doing 90% of the production, you will then, they can run out of ideas. It'll be the same. But if they had gone different sounds, I think it would have helped them move. But Never Make a Promise, written by Darryl Simmons.
Wow. 10. I thought you'd have had that a lot higher up, Namdi, I'll be honest.
Well, yeah. If it was just a Dru Hill sort of battle, it would have been a little bit higher. But because there's some other ones that I put up here. Yeah. Okay. I mean, what did you have as your number 10?
Number 10, I have another Jagged Edge track. It's one of their more popular songs. It's "He Can't Love You" from the Heartbreak.
I had that as a number. Oh, did I put it there? Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you had that one as well.
I think you had it at 12.
At 12, so not too bad. Okay. I thought that would have been higher up.
No, there's other Jagged Edge songs that I love. So, no.
Okay. Steven.
Number 10 for me is yet another Dru Hill track. Again from the first album, and it's one of the upbeat hip hop soulist type sounding tracks called "Do You Believe." That's just, it kind of stood out to me. I don't think it's a killer song or anything. I like the production.
It's a killer
Yeah,
song.
I can identify. That's my comfort zone. That with that kind of production from the mid-90s, and I thought, yeah, I'm struggling to find something from him anyway, and that kind of makes sense. So
On that first album, they had "Tell Me," they had "In My Bed," "Never Make a Promise,"
The night's young here now.
"Five Steps," "April Showers."
The night's young here.
They had so many tracks on that first album. But anyway, okay. Day, what about you?
My number 10 is One Good Reason by Dru Hill.
Oh,
Wow.
what?
I don't even know what it sounds like. Maybe, do you want to?
Yeah, what album was that on?
Sounds like.
That's a great question. Let me go see.
One Good Reason. I wonder if it's on the.
The reason why I shouldn't leave. Some.
What's the?
From.
Okay, that's from the second album. Yeah, okay. The second album. All right, okay.
The only song I know with the title "One Good Reason" from, I remember this lady called Marva Hicks, who sadly passed away many years ago. She did an album in, I think, 1990, a brilliant track on it called "One Good Reason." But it's not. Dru Hill wouldn't have covered that track. There's no way he would have covered that track. But yeah, I don't know that track a day. I'm sorry, I didn't. Just
You do now.
You do now, yes. Okay. So give me one reason my love is out for the season. Why me? Okay. Let me see. Okay, so number 8?
Number 9.
Oh, number 9.
Yeah.
Who did the production on this? Oh, it is the same. Oh, well, actually, it was Manuel Seal and Jermaine Dupri, of course, Brian Casey and Brandon Casey doing the production. I gotta be the one you love. I gotta be. So I gotta be is at number 9 for me. Oh, yes. So
yeah, that was one of the singles. Good track.
I think, yeah. I mean, they had the ballads. They had some nice ballads, and they had it, but there was. Yeah, I don't know. I was listening to a lot of their songs, and I was enjoying them. Even
you'd like the remix to that, actually. I think you probably.
Even like "Let's Get Married." It's like, oh goodness, what is this? I'm like, it's supposed to be an upbeat, like, oh, let's get married. So it was like, wow, are you trying
love story. Well, it's a questionable love story, but
Yeah, but it was supposed to be upbeat. It was supposed to like, let's get married, but it was that. I was like, wow, this. I was like, okay. So I mean, yeah. So it's So I gotta be the one. Yeah. So they wrote some songs. They wrote some ballads, but yeah. So
they had Destiny's Child in that video.
Oh, they did. Okay, I can't remember now. Okay.
So have you picked 3? Have you picked 3 Jagged Edge tracks so far now, or 2?
Yeah, I picked 3. I've picked "You Can't Love You," "Promise," and "I Gotta Be." So that's the third one.
Yeah, you picked 3 pretty big tracks there from Jagged Edge.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a top 10 of both of them. It was the Dru Hill was easier, but the Dru Hill was much easier to do and harder to fit in. And I think nobody will ever guess my top Dru Hill songs. I think that would be it'll surprise everyone. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, number 9 is a Dru Hill song produced by Babyface and Damon Thomas, and it has like one of my favorite lines in a song because it always makes me laugh. But it's the song "These Are the Times."
These are the times. Was that on the? That wasn't on the Soul Food soundtrack, was it?
I'm not sure.
No, but it was at number. It's number 15 on the album. It's almost like at the bottom. So I wonder why it was just they would get Babyface to,
Dru
pay all
Hill
that money for a Babyface track and throw
is
it at the
not
bottom.
making love no more on Soul Food.
Oh,
Okay, okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah, it was okay. I'm surprised they got a Babyface track and they just threw it at the bottom. But they put a lot of money in the second album with producers. Um, yeah. Um, yeah, okay. Stay there.
Actually, these are the times on my first draft at number 12, but it got edged out. Dru Hill. I just thought I listened to it again and I thought it's one of those Candle in the Air type tracks, isn't it?
but it's so good.
Yeah, it's a good track. Just like I had it on my primarily like 6 or 7 track list and it just dropped out. But that is a good candlelit wave it in the air type track. But I want to get to number 9, and no surprises, I've got another Dru. So that's 4 in a row from their final album, Dru Independence. This is the track that I played a lot on radio. I think it was produced by Brian Michael Cox. I really, really liked his production. And there's a little track buried away on there called Remain Silent, which I think is a bit of a gem if you just go back and listen to it. Again, it's a real deep cut, real deep R&B cut called Remain Silent. Probably nobody else has picked, but I enjoy playing it on the radio as a new release, and I do remember that. So it made my number 9 for old Dru Hill.
Stevie, your Dru Hill sounds just...
It's out at the same time as... Do you remember the group Day... What were they called? Day
26?
Day 26. Because they had an album out with Brian Michael Cox productions on it, which just blew me away at the time. So it reminded me of that, really. So, yeah. I like Day 26 as well. I enjoyed them. It's some really good albums.
Was they making the band? Or was it Diddy's band?
Yeah, that was them.
Yeah.
Do you know, they actually came down one night to the radio station at about 11 o'clock on a Saturday night. And I did an interview with them. And after that, they went off to do a performance in Manchester. But they were top bunch of guys, really top. I couldn't believe they turned up. They turned up to this tiny little community radio station in Manchester.
Okay.
What a great... Shame it wasn't Jagged Edge, you know what I mean? I'll take Day 26, I'll take them. Why not, eh?
Okay, Dave, what about you?
My number 9 is Let's Get Married, both versions. I like both of them.
Wow, at number 9, that's quite low. Okay. That was their. I would think that if I'm not mistaken, I would think that would be their highest charting song for Jagged Edge. I would think.
Maybe that, or where the party's at.
Good point. Let me take a look at their singles here. "Let's Get Married" was number 1 on the R&B charts, but it was number 11 on the Billboard 100. Where the Party At with Nelly was number 3 on the Billboard 100. So yes, that was their biggest track. But "Walk Out of Heaven" was number 6 on the Billboard charts, but it didn't get to. They didn't get to number 1 on the R&B charts. So the Billboard 100 is like, if it is, it was No Diggity was number 1 for 4 weeks, knocked the Macarena off. So that shows how big it was. But yeah, Where Did Party At? Nelly was Nelly was massive. So you almost think, when I remember that song, I used to think, I thought it was a Nelly track. I think Nelly, because he was more prominent in the stuff I felt. But anyway, it was a track. All right. So number 8 for me is, so this was number 8. I think this is another, it's strange that I'm picking a lot of songs by Dal Simmons, but I want to be 100% sure that he is the one that did this one. It's not on my list here. Well, it is from this second album, and it was, let me see if it's here. No, I can't see it here. Just want to check. Maybe it's from their first album then, but it's from their debut album. And let me see. I can't even find it. But anyway, maybe it's from the Soul Food soundtrack. But it is "We're Not Making Love No More." I think the only thing I didn't like about is when Cisco puts his name in it, But I loved how they vocally are on the track.
Always freezing on.
Oh, what? Who's freezing? Was I freezing? Did I freeze?
Who froze?
Was it me?
Okay,
freezing?
am I not back?
No, I just got a. Yeah.
Okay. Or did I ever leave? That's the question.
You didn't
Okay.
leave. You just sort of like. You were just a delay. Didn't quite get what you said. That was all.
Yeah. Okay. So "We're Not Making Love." I can't remember where I got where that is from. Which album? But yeah, "We're Not Making Love." That is "Not Making Love."
The Soul Food soundtrack.
Maybe that's why it's not on their Soul Food soundtrack, and maybe it was. And I got that from their hits. But yes, "We're Not Making Love." Oh, thanks for that, Marco. Soul Food soundtrack. That's a Babyface track. Probably why it just sounds so good, and that's why I keep saying with Dru Hill was they used different producers, that really stretched their sound, and so "We're Not Making Love" at number 8 for me. Yeah, no one. Yes, yeah. I don't think did Jagged Edge do any soundtracks.
Oop.
Did you?
Yeah,
did
they were on
feature
the.
any?
They were on one. I forgot his name. The guy's got a gun in the. What's it called? Not in Too Deep. It was some. It's a late 90s, early 2000s soundtrack on.
Blue Hill Avenue.
No. No.
See, we're scratching our heads there.
Ellie. No.
They were on
Yeah.
one. They were on one. Big one.
I mean, Dru Hill were on Rush Hour 1, 2, and 3, and they were on Soul Food. So they made hits. Okay.
It might have been
anyway.
in Too Deep. It might have been in Too Deep.
Too Deep? Yeah. Okay.
Too
I'm just saying, they just had the variety. Oh, barbershops. They were in the barbershop too.
Oh, with Trade It All, or I think Trade It All, or I Need a Girl, one of those.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess the thing is that I was just saying that Key to the Range was on the soundtrack. Keys to the Range. Oh, Keys to the Range. Okay. That was on a soundtrack. Okay. Keys to the Range. Songs by Dru Hill. Yeah. Okay. But anyway, go ahead, Loretta.
Oh, number 8, I have a Dru Hill song, which was produced by Nokio. I Love You from Dru World Order. That is my number 8 song.
Okay. Yes. Okay. And they did Trade It All with Puff. Okay. Yeah, the Dru World Order. That's exactly. Yeah, I did like that album. I think the challenge I had is I couldn't tell who was singing all the parts because there were 5 of them. I don't understand, why would you go from 4 to 5 and share the money from 25% to 20%? And well, I didn't understand that whole thing. All right, Stevie.
I just remembered something actually when I was talking about that Day 21 interview. They were in. I'm talking about, I talked before about people who don't show up for interviews. So that Saturday night I did Day 21, and the next day I was on air again on Sunday afternoon, and we had Jay Holiday coming down because Day 26 and Jay Holiday and another act were all performing in Manchester that night. So I've got all my notes prepared, and I've listened to all the Jay Holiday albums. I'm live on air. The station manager says, "Be here in 20 minutes. Jay Holiday will be here in 20 minutes." So 20 minutes comes, door opens, 4 guys walk in. and they all sit down and they're all mic'd up. And I went, where's Jay Holiday? And they went, he's not turned up. And I went, who are these guys then? This is Pretty Ricky. And I'm like, what, Pretty Ricky? And I never even listened to her, but I think I knew on the hotline or so. And I'm like, I've got her interview, Pretty Ricky. What do you do? It was probably one of the worst interviews I've ever done. I think I gave him 10 minutes. I didn't know what to ask him. I ended up asking him, like, what do you, the lyrics were very, very potty mouthed, very, and I asked him about, the lyrics in the songs are a bit, how does radio take to and all that. And I just did not know. It was terrible. But imagine that you just put on the spot and Pretty Ricky are there. And they were, they were like a bunch of clowns. They're all clowning around. I said, just get him out the studio. Let him 10 minutes and get him out. I mean, yeah. I never knew what happened to Jay Holiday, mate. I'll never know. Maybe he didn't get out of bed that morning. He mustn't have got out of bed. In fact, one of his tracks, something in the bed or something, I remember.
Take You to Bed. Was it?
Yeah, that was one of his tracks on it as well. Maybe he didn't get out of bed that morning. But anyway, what are we on now? We're on, I forgot there, I digress. And we're on number 8.
Number 8.
Number 8. Finally, I've got a Jagged Edge track to talk about. And I've done. Is it on the? I can't. It's not on J Heartbreak, is it? It's not on Jagged Little. I think it's. Is it on the Hard album? Walked Out of Heaven. Walked Out of Heaven. Yeah, that. Walked Out. Yeah.
So don't rely on Stevie to try and remember the track. That's the country version that Stevie's singing. Walk out of heaven.
You must remember that one, though.
Yeah. This is the harp. The harp playing. Go ahead, Dave. Did you answer Zico's question? Was that the Levert's Big Throwdown?
This is the Big Throwdown. Levert.
What's that?
For my number 8, I have Never Make a Promise by Dru Hill.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So they had 2 promises. There's Promise, I Promise, and then Never Make a Promise.
Yep.
Where did you get that Levert LP from? I don't have that on vinyl. I need round and steal that from you.
Record store in LA, I think Amobia.
How much?
I think it was only, let's see. It's 7. It was the record parlor in LA it's $7.98.
Oh, that's a good price. That $8. That's about what? It's about £6 that in the UK, Namdi. Good price.
$7.98. Yeah, about £6.
Yeah, I've not seen that album on my shameless plug for my Vinyl Search YouTube video channel. Yeah, I've not seen that yet. I'll be highly anticipating that one.
Yes. Oh, okay. Just as you go on, both of you, well, the 3 of you, you both have YouTube channels. So, Stevie, so people are just for people to remember that you do have a YouTube channel and you have episodes in search of vinyl, where you go around different vinyl shops across the UK. What is the name of your channel?
It's just Stevie Street _ And a big shout, I think Jez is tuned in tonight. Big shout to Jez who sourced the Blackstreet album. He sourced the Blackstreet LP out for me. What a guy. So thank you. Big thanks for that, sir. Blackstreet. Okay. But yesterday I went to a record fair. You'll see that video sometime in a few weeks. I went and had a nice big record fair and found some great albums, Probably left me bankrupt for the month, but I had a good time. Took all the money.
And then you also mentioned that you saw somebody recognize you. Can you tell that story?
Oh, yes. On Friday when I left work, I went in you call it in America, don't you call them thrift stores? Over here they call them charity stores, charity shops. So I'm in this charity shop looking through some old vinyl and some really old bloke. And I shouldn't say old bloke because I'm old myself. Me and Andy are getting on now. But he's older than me anyway. Say that. He comes up and are you Steve? I went, yeah, I recognise you. I've been watching your videos. I thought, wow, I'm becoming YouTube famous. I've been watching your... Do you know what he said to me? He said, I can't stand all that rubbish you buy. But I said, oh, that's what he said. I don't like all that rubbish you buy, but I like your videos. So, cheers, mate. Thanks for that. Yeah.
So if you guys are into vinyls and old school music and stuff like that,
If you're watching, sir, thank you. Nice to meet you. I can't remember his name though.
Lorraine, what about you? Your channel and what we should expect?
Yes, so I have my podcast, which is Total R&B. We are on a small break, but I will be coming back December 16th with a new episode.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm excited. Getting my channel together because I know you guys got me together in the chat last time. So everything's coming together. But yeah, Total R&B. We're on all DSPs where you could listen to podcasts, and then we also have our YouTube channel.
And you don't have a lot of focus on indie and new up and coming R&B artists across North America.
Yes, so a lot of it is up and coming artists, new artists. So if you're looking to, get to know some of the new artists that are coming about across North America, definitely check out my past episodes. There's a lot of great singers that are putting out really good R&B music. So definitely check it out.
And then also
maybe in the new year we can all jump on your channel live, Lorraine. We can all jump on.
I would love that.
Yeah, talk about some new artists or something.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll all do that. We'll all gate crash.
But you've also started doing polls, daily polls. How are you finding that?
It's fun just to see everyone's reactions. A lot of times, like if they don't like the choices in the poll, they put their own. But it's really cool to see what people like and their opinions and how they come up with like the reason that they chose whoever was in the poll or to answer the question. So it's been really fun. I like it.
Yeah, and I know Mac is because he loves a poll, and so I've seen him.
Yes, and I look forward to it because he always like breaks down his response. So I always look forward to like seeing what his answer is and his breakdown, how his mind works to get there.
Yeah, yeah. So I am actually because who is that? Virgo Forever said to put the. I'll put Total R&B Podcast first, and I'll put Stevie. Ade, what about your channel and what can we expect?
We got there.
My channel is Addie's Diary on YouTube and TikTok, and then on Instagram, it's also Addie's Diary, but my entertainment page on Instagram is my name, Ade Lane. I would say I'm more active on TikTok and Instagram than I am YouTube, because YouTube is like where I do the interviews. But speaking of people noticing us, y'all, Christopher Williams knew who I was.
Oh, wow.
He knew who I was.
Wow.
Yeah, that was insane.
And
thank you.
Did he call you out? Did he at the show or?
It was when I was meeting him. I was like, hey, I just did a TED Talk and I didn't mention you. He's like, wait, you're the girl from Instagram. I love your page. Thank you. Thank you.
You never know who's watching.
Literally.
Yes. So I've put the 3 pages, both Stevie Street, Total R&B, and Ade's Diary on YouTube. But I'm sure if you go, you can also connect to the 3 of them on IG and TikTok as well. All right. I've now forgotten where we were. Who was
7?
next?
Number 7.
7.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Well, Ade had promised. You had a promise, didn't you, Ade? Kind of got lost in all the
Yeah,
chat.
I said never make a promise.
Never make a promise. Yes. Back to Dru Hill at number 7, and this was a song that we found out one person who sang it and was taken off of it, but we didn't realize until it was mentioned, and Aaron Hall was the first person to sing on this track. But if you listen to his version, it feels as if he was trying to strangle somebody. And then they gave the song to Dave Hollister, and they said he slayed it. But business is business. They were like, you can sing it, we're going to take all the money. And he was like, yeah, no, I've already done that once, so I'm not going to do it again. And so they picked on these 4 new kids who had no idea about the music industry and got them to sing it and took out all their money. And it's Tell Me by Dru Hill. This was their first single. They flew in to audition for Hiram Hicks at Island Def Jam. And Woody said that while they were singing their own songs, Hiram Hicks was sitting back there and singing Tell Me as they were singing Tell Me. And then he just said, okay, maybe get them on the track. And he called Stanley Brown, who was mixing Dave Hollister's version of Tell Me, getting ready to put it out. And he says, nope, I'm going to send these guys that have just came from Baltimore, get them to sing it. They sang it that night, mixed it that night, and it was put out on the album.
Wow.
And so that's
Dave Hollister.
Yeah, Dave. But he'd been around the music business long enough to know Tam Lewis is the same way, that you just don't sign any contract, because what Woody says is that you get famous but broke, and that's not a good place to be, where everyone knows who you are but you have no money, So Tell Me, the ad from Dru Hill is at number 7.
Wow, I thought that'd have been a bit higher up for you there, Namdi. I'll be honest.
Hey, I've got some. Top six were some nice. I think I like my number 1 and 2 so much. Yeah. Wow. Tell Me should have definitely been higher. Hey, yeah. I mean, it's good to think about it. So just says Aaron Hall and Dave Hollister's version of Tell Me on YouTube. Stevie, you sent me the YouTube clip. I think Alex, my good friend Alex, was the one who posted it on his page.
I'll tell you, sent me that was our friend Idris. He sent me the link to it on IG.
Yeah,
he said Aaron Hall originally sung it. I said I didn't know. I said he sent me the link, and then I sent it you. Yeah,
I'm gonna post it in, but Alex, who is Alex is a super fan. I mean, he's the one that when I interviewed Dogchild, he had questions that Rodney says, how did he know about that? It's like, who sang the demo? Did Mike? And he's like, are you going to pull out this demo stuff? So he was the one that posted. I'm going to put the link of Aaron Hall's version of Tell Me on here soon. But anyway, Lorena, go ahead with number 7.
Number 7, we are back to Jagged Edge. It's a song from their album Jagged Little Thrill. It's one of my favorite Jagged Edge songs, which is Remedy, which was also produced by Brian Michael Hawks and written by Brandon and Brian Casey.
Wow, that's a good choice, that. You like that album, don't you? Jagged Little Thrill.
That is my favorite Jagged Edge album. Jagged Little Thrill. Honestly, I could pick like 6 songs from that album that I think are just amazing. But
yeah, you did tell me that when I was saying that, man, I was falling asleep, and you said, "Yeah, but go into this album, check it out." I was like, "Okay, I'll give it a try."
You're like, I don't think so.
And I had a nice nap after listening to it. But anyway, no, okay. Let me see. Okay, Stevie. But as Stevie's doing, I am about to put the link for the Aaron Hall, and it is Alex Clark, who he knows all the ins and outs of everything. But it is there for anyone that wants to listen to it. All right, Stevie.
Yeah, listen to it after the podcast.
Yeah, no.
Anyway, number 7 for me is my second Jagged Edge track of the evening, and it's Promise at number 7. The promise, I
Baby, I
promise.
promise. Yeah, okay.
And we start going.
It sounds like a remix.
Again.
It's just
Hey, I'll tell you something, guys. A bit of advice: never make a promise to a lady that you can't keep, because I'll tell you what, it'll bite you back big time. You promised me. Yeah, men, we've all heard that, haven't we? You promised me. Oh no, fall asleep again. You know what I mean? You've all heard that one, guys. We've all fell in that trap. Never make a promise, Dru Hill said, if you can keep it. So there you go.
Oh, goodness. Dre Clark did say salute to Jagged Edge for never breaking up.
Yeah.
And it is true. Because if you think about it, can you think of an R&B group from the 90s that didn't lose one member of their group?
Cut close.
Okay.
That's true.
Yeah. And go back into start thinking. Yes, it's kind of few. I think Silk. I don't know if all 5 members of Silk stay together. But
I'm
even
gonna say yes. I think they're still together.
okay.
Mind you, the lead singer, when I went to London in, is it April or March? No, it was April.
Little G.
And Little G from Silk was performing. I don't know what happened to the other 4 guys. Maybe the promoter couldn't afford.
Yeah, it's something cheaper to just get Little G to come in and do a few songs.
Little G over, yeah. He
But
sounded
he does
amazing,
like
actually.
solo songs too. So
Yeah, he does. Yeah. No, goodness, somebody said after 7. Even Keith Mitchell had just left, so it is Kevon and friends. SWV, good shout outs. They did promise that they'll never bring in a change and stuff like that. But it's very few, so it's not to say, but especially male groups. So you think about Blackstreet, Guy 2.0, Guy 2.3. If you think about them, think about 112. There are a lot of them. B2K, or either they break up, one person goes solo, or they could come back. But just to be like what Jagged Edge is like the 4 of us started as the 4 of us are going to continue. And none of the twins have gone to do solo stuff and left the other 2. It's like we put out the albums as a team, so that you've got to give respect to that. Yeah. Okay. Who's next?
Was it me?
Yes.
Number 6, right?
Yeah. No, 7.
no 7.
For 7, I have Dru Hill. We're not making love no more.
Okay.
We're not making love no more.
Don't do it. We're not making love no more. Yes, Stevie does this. Okay. Yeah, okay. At least it's in there. The number 6. Okay. Now, as I said, top 5.
What is the answer
number
to
7.
that
That was number
dilemma?
7.
What is the answer to the dilemma, guys? We're not making love. What do? You talk to her about it, or do you just get rid of her? I mean, which what do you do?
Okay, said Wingo has another group, but he's still a bit, not that I know of, but the fact that there's still 11, 12 albums deep and they're on tour right now.
I think it's with one of the guys from 112. I just don't know which one. I think it's Q.
Okay.
Someone else.
Because Q was originally in Jagged before he got into all right, so number 6 for me is a song that I when I hear it, I think it, and maybe this is the thing, they did the track with this big artist, and I think he had just come up with Country Grammar and other things. So it is Where the Party At, featuring Nelly.
Wow,
number 6. I didn't think it was it's because it was different. It was as I said, it was a departure from their from their ballads, and it showed a different side to them. I wish they had given them more up-tempo tracks. I wish they had seen that and followed that formula, but they didn't, sadly. But it is, their biggest single to date, and that's with Nelly. So Jagged Edge, where the party at.
What do you think of Nelly the rapper? Did you like a bit of Nelly?
Yeah, he's fine. Yeah.
I think at the time I wasn't a big when he came out. I think that his country grammar, the let's get it down, that sort of stuff was very familiar to a pop white audience. So it sounded like stuff they sang in the playgrounds. So they warmed to that, and so that's where he became bigger than he really probably should have at that time. So he was more of a, he was one of the, I won't say the first, but he was a big pop crossover at the time. Big on MTV, so not just R&B, and so anything he touched was gold. But yeah, I mean, he made his mark. He was different than what was out there and put St. Louis on the map. A different style, Midwest. Yeah. Y'all should have thrown 112 in the mix. Hey, we tried to, but most people wanted Jagged Edge over 112 by 3-1. Yeah. All right. So my number 6 is Jagged Edge, Where the Party's At, featuring Nelly, their biggest selling single and highest placed single at the time. Oh, I hate all the Nelly songs everyone likes. Okay. Lorena, go ahead. What is your number 6?
Number 6, I put Tell Me by Dru Hill.
Okay.
Wow. You put it pretty high up as well. I'm surprised.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of Dru Hill songs up there. Dru Hill makes really good songs. See, I am not a hater, okay?
Yeah.
Y'all were killing me in the chat.
No. I mean, see, I took the flack for saying that I gave Brandy's Full Moon a 6, and I almost got crucified for that. But anyway, yeah. No, you did prefer Jagged over, yeah. But that's why there's a surprise when you.
Dru Hill has really their singles, they did really well putting out their singles and marketing and all that stuff. Their first 2 albums are done really, really well. So there's great tracks from those 2 albums. So yeah.
Okay. Stevie, what did you put for 6?
Again, it's another Jagged Edge track. I have 2 favorite Jagged Edge albums: the first album and the Hard album. Believe it or not, I think that was their 4th album. 3rd or 4th album, but I've gone for another deep ballad cut. Another you'll probably fall asleep listening to, but it's called "What It's Like." What it's like to be in love.
It doesn't sound like that, but
I realize it. I realize it wouldn't sound like that.
It's a real deep, gets you in R&B cut. I mean, I picked that above Promise and Walked Out of Heaven, believe it or not. So I must have really liked that track. But yeah, that's my number 6, Jagged Edge. What's it like to be in love? I don't know. They say they just don't know what it's like to be in love. I was quite surprised, actually.
He's doing the AI version of the song as an old white drunk man or something like that. What's it like to be in love? Kenny Rogers version of the song. Kenny Rogers sang Jagged Edge.
The AI version. Yeah, the 70s country version.
Yeah. Oh, goodness a day.
My number 6 is Promise by Jagged Edge.
Okay. Ezekiel, you damn right it doesn't sound like that. Yes, I can.
Sorry, Dave. What was your number?
Baby, I promise.
Promise.
Promise. Right, you've got Promise as well. So Promise has been picked 3 times so far. Then
3 times. Yes,
maybe Lorena might. Well, we shall see. The night is still young, so it's been picked 3. So quite a big track that so far in the old charts.
Okay, top 5. And because I combined both songs, I think would this be here on the back of the remix? It might be. I think it is on the back of the remix because I think the original version. I always remember when Mary came out with the My Life album, and when and I was in college working night shifts at a lighting company, and you have the radio playing in the background. And then you'd hear her sing, "Go, not gonna cry," and so this song just kind of brings me back to that type of mood. And I did mention about, and it's "Let's Get Married."
Wow.
As serious as it is,
original or remix, Namdi?
I actually do have the original in there. But as I said, because I put it together, I think the remix was really good. I mean, I loved Reverend Ron doing his rap on it. But I think the original was, I think it's only now that I'm listening to that. I'm thinking, wow, why did they slow it down? And it sounds sad instead of being a,
maybe they try to get an altar walk, for the bride. As the doors open, as he comes in and he walks down the altar. Maybe it was for that. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe so. But a beautiful song, beautiful delivery. As I said on my list, it's the ballad, the original version. Yes, "Let's Get Married" by Jagged Edge. It makes that number 5 for me.
Wow.
Oh yeah, it was Fredo Starr. That was Brandy's boyfriend out in Moesha in it. But he's also, was it Onyx? Yes, he was an Onyx. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, he was an Onyx. Yes.
Yeah.
Goodness, man, I miss the 90s. It movies, film, TV shows. You had stuff like Martin. You had the the Boys in the Hood, Don't Be a Menace. You had oh goodness, you had all the gangster movies like Menace to Society and stuff, and then you had the love stories like Jason's Lyric and Poetic Justice and what's the one the one with Nia Long and
Love Jones.
Love Jones. I love that. I love the whole jazz, the whole stuff, the spoken word. Goodness. I mean, that's an amazing decade. I mean, the 80s was fun. In his own way, but the 90s generally, and I was out there in the States throughout that whole time. Yes,
must have been nice.
Well, thank Benton's for the super chat there, Namdi. He sent you a super chat.
He says he wants Randy and the Gypsies album.
He's making you richer. Hey, on behalf of Namdi, I'll thank you for sending Namdi a super chat there.
Benson, yes.
Thank you very much, Benson, there for the super chat.
Randy and the Gypsies. I wonder if somebody did tell me. Okay, and then also, Ade, you have watched the Diddy documentary on Netflix. All 5 episodes.
Don't spoil it for me. I've only seen episode 1. We can talk about episode 1 if you want.
Well done.
Is it well done?
You said what?
Is it well done?
Oh, I said it's really well done.
Yeah, it is.
You both watched it.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
quite surprised actually.
Okay.
You'll enjoy episode 1 anyway because it goes back to the Uptown days and the history of how he became P Diddy. It's very well put together. But where they got that footage from of him in his hotel room, unbelievable. How they got all that.
They
You know,
said
on
that
the edge. He's on the edge. He's really on the edge there, isn't he? He's like, you can tell he's like, it's not looking good for him, is it? You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Brown Sugar was another good movie. Yeah, dude, where's my car? DJ All Day, welcome. Yeah, I think in the new year we will look at. We would do movie soundtracks, and we have to do movies and do a sort of a pop culture look back at some of the top 10 black movies that came out in the 90s, because that was definitely a different time. They don't make those kind of movies anymore.
at all.
Okay. Who's at number 5? Lorena, were you at number 5?
Oh, number 5 will go to Jagged Edge. It's a song from their album called Hard, and the song is called Visions.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah,
Good
that one was
album,
produced by Jermaine Dupri, and yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think I yeah, it was. I think I did look through some of their tracks, and I went back to their first 3 that to compile my list. Stevie, what made you number 5?
I'm just reading Benson's thing there about the film. Hopefully, the new year we'll be all over it. We won't talk about. We've had so much P Diddy this year. I'm all P Diddy'd out. Yeah, it was sold, was it? Footage was sold. Interesting, because they didn't pay. Anyway, number 5 is yet another Jagged Edge track. So this is like 1, 2, 3. This is my 4th Jagged Edge pick, believe it or not. And I think, who mentioned "Can I Get With You" earlier? Was it you, Ade? Yeah, I picked that number 5 just because I picked all the ballads so far. I'm trying to wake myself up, so I need to wake myself up. Again, it's you could play this in a club a bit early doors to try and get people in the mood. It's got the Michael McDonald sample in it. It's got the big snares, a big crash snare sound in it. Can I get with it? Yeah, quite a good up tempo that from Jagged Edge. I picked that over Where's the Party At and the remix of Let's Get Married. You know, maybe heard them too many times in a club, but Can I Get With You's a solid R&B track for me. Solid club jam. That's made my number 5 anyway.
Okay.
For my number 5, I have Walked Out of Heaven, Jagged Edge. And it's what he's saying, the opening, driving on a lonely highway. For the opening alone, I'm just like, yes.
So it was written by the 2 brothers. They wrote their tracks, man. They wrote and sang their tracks, and produced by Brian Michael Cox. I mean, goodness, think about the royalties, man, because they were getting publishing on the songwriting more than the other guys. So it didn't sound fair, and the other guys weren't singing as much. So I wanted some more variety. But if they were the songwriters, if they were the leads with it, that's the harp. Ding, da-dum, da-dum, being plucked. So it does give you this heavenly sound with the harp, plucking the harp and stuff. But that's a nice production, Brian Michael Cox. Okay. All right. Number 4 for me is Ade's number 5, Walk Out of Heaven. Yeah, it's and as I said, and it was so hard to keep on top of all the new music and all the new releases that came out. So I don't think I owned a Jagged Edge album, because I think at this time I was probably overly Blackstreet, and I focused on Blackstreet. I had all their music. I had everything from Boyz II Men and everything from Jodeci. so there wasn't too much room for other groups, because it was like you pick a lane and just go down that route. I couldn't just listen to everything, but you listen to the singles, and so yes, so I knew about Walk Out of Heaven, but I can't remember the rest of the albums, on other tracks other than this. So I do. Obviously, I've had some on my list, but that is, I think that's my last Jagged Edge. That is my last Jagged Edge at number 4.
Well, at least he got to number 4 anyway.
At number 4. Wow.
I'm surprised they made you top 5, to be quite honest, Namdi, the way you were talking about it.
Well, got to number 4. So, goodness, so you can realize that I've got some serious Dru Hill at 1 to 3. Yes. Okay. Go ahead.
So number 4, we're going back to Dru Hill, and actually this song, well, the one that I chose, the song initially, like the beat was supposed to be for Jagged Edge, but it went to Dru Hill, and Jagged Edge was actually in the video, but they got cut out.
Oh wow!
Yeah, which is In My Bed, the So Def remix. That is number 4.
Big mix. Big mix.
Okay. I didn't realize they were in the video.
Well, they didn't make the final cut. They got cut out, but they were in the video. They were wearing like the same shirts as Jermaine Dupri and the Brat. They had like the So Def shirts. So yeah, they were there, but they didn't make the final cut.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, listen to JD saying that. Look, he was just asked to do a remix, and he did that. And I think if you try to do something that emulated, like the Let's Get Married remix was nice, but it wasn't as good as In My Bed, because that was just, I think it was one of the first sort of up remixes of a ballad going into an up tempo like that. I mean, I'm sure there were others, but it was, one of the more prominent ones, and it really caught our attention. Yeah,
big mix. Yeah, it was one of the biggest. One of the. You could put that in the top 10 remixes of the R&B in the 90s. That it's really up there.
Yeah. Stevie, what about you? What did you put at number?
I picked. This is my 5th Jagged Edge pick, believe it or not, at number 4. Initially, I had this at number 1, but I've moved it back to number 4. It's from Jagged Edge's first album. It's a killer track. This. Is this the best track on that first? I don't know. It's the other track as well. But I picked Ready and Willing from the first album. Ready and Willing against another track. I can't sing it. I'm sorry. I wish I could. I wish I could sing like that. Ready and Willing. It's a good flowing R&B. It's a brilliant track. Really brilliant track. I wish it'd have been a single, really. Really do.
I take your word for it. Okay.
Probably nobody else picked that track, which is a shame, really. But go and listen to it again. It's a great track.
Okay. Dave, what did you get?
My number 5 is one of Dru Hill's most iconic songs. I think it's like a trend going around. If someone's kids trouble, they make them do like Dru Hill hops. And I have Tell Me for number 5.
Tell me. And it's a good thing when you when somebody says, yeah, why don't you do this? And then this becomes a significant, becomes stuff that you can keep doing, just jumping up like that. It's kind of like, oh my goodness, it's tiring. But yeah, all right. Top 3. So number 3, we've already spoken about the battle of the remixes and stuff like that. And as of this moment in time, just taking a look at the poll to see where we are, how many people have voted and what they have put it at. So at this moment in time, we have 760 people who have voted, and 58% preferred the Sleeping in My Bed remix by Dru Hill, and I think the original version in itself was let me try and see was massive, because they did the sort of the big twist in a music video, and that was the one that at the time, and I think it's strange now when you're thinking about where we are now. At the time, that was a massive, like, what's going on here? What's happening? Probably won't make it. People won't even notice it now. But it was produced by Daryl Simmons. Written by, I don't know who Raphael Brown is and Ralph Stacey, but Daryl Simmons did the co-writing and production on that, and so that was massive hit and stuff, because in the video she was looking at somebody else, another guy. So when she was with Cisco, she's like checking out this other guy, and they were almost giving themselves the eye. But then you get home at the end, it's a woman in the room. But then they do the remix, and it just came from nowhere, and it was like, oh my goodness, what is this? With JG and the Brat, Batman and Robin rapping. So number 3 is In My Bed by Dru Hill.
Okay.
The remix.
Well, no, I put both tracks because I think both tracks, both tracks were good. I prefer the ballad, but the remix took it over. It's almost like when R. Kelly did the Bump and Grind. The original was okay, but when the remix came out, it was like, I don't know, that just, he was I was going to shift it from Dru to R. Kelly, but I'm just saying how a difference a remix does to a song and to a career, because he went from just a local R&B guy to mainstream just off the remix of Pump and Grind. I just remember that just blowing up everywhere. He didn't shoot a new video, but it was just a new version of it. Yes. All right. So that is number 3 for me, In My Bed, Dru Hill. So no one's going to ever know what my number 1 and 2 is, but anyway, go ahead, Lorena.
So my number 3, I guess initially I put the remix, but I'll put both of them because I like both versions. So it's Let's Get Married by Jagged Edge. And the remix that I'm choosing is the one with Rev Run, because they have another one with Kanye West. So yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I heard that one, but I didn't. Yes, I've got that one as well. Which album was that off of? But I've got the remix album, the hits. But I did take it off. Okay. Yes. Go ahead, CV.
Number 3 is Dru Hill. And if you was to compile, say, a best of the 90s compilation double CD, you could quite easily put this track on there. It is a classic. I think you've all mentioned it. I think you've all put it higher up I'm not sure. Yeah, it's got number 3 for me. Tell me, Dru Hill, classic. Has to be, it's could be number 1, could be number 2, but it's at number 3. There it is. What else can you say about it? It is a classic track. I did enjoy it when it first came out, that track. Got the 12-inch promotional copy when it first came out, and I bought the album on the back of it. I do, it is one or 2 or 3 Dru Hill tracks that I know well. The rest I just don't know. But that is one of them. Mm-hmm. I'm sure everybody else was it as well. So great song. Great song.
Yeah. My Holy King was saying that Dru Hill versus Jodeci would have been better. That would have been a whitewash. It would be hard to justify. It's strange, although Dru Hill had some nice ballads, had some hit singles. But I think the nostalgia of them being the cover band, seen as a cover band of Dru Hill, of Jodeci, would be hard to win any battle Yeah. Catch remix from Dru Hill. Yeah. Okay. All right, today then.
Number 3, I have this song because I'll never forget the first time I heard it. I was like, oh my gosh, why haven't I heard this sooner? Beauty by Dru Hill.
Oh.
Yes, I love Oh my gosh, that song so much.
So you're putting it based on not this week listening to it, but from when you first time you heard it.
Yes. I'm just like, oh my gosh. Like, I should have heard this sooner.
Which album's that on? Because I don't even know that track. I don't think
Is it?
I think it's their second album.
There's something from the Enter the Dru.
Yeah, it's on there. And I don't think they released it as a single. No, they didn't release it as a single. No. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we are definitely looking. People are talking about bringing Woody back, but I want Teo brought a different sound. Woody would definitely not ever go back. You know, they yeah. So number 2 for me is a song. Let me see, where am I at? I need to get back to my playlist, versus playlist, just to be 100% sure. Yeah, it's a song off of let me make sure I get the right album here. I think it's in the second album, Enter the Dru, and I was gonna say this was my almost like my Michael Jackson song from Dru Hill. It is a storytelling. It's almost like and I said it. I just felt like this is one of those things, like when Michael sings a song and he's trying to tell a story, like Little Susie, or he's trying to almost visualize something. And this was a story in a story that was acted out, and it is Holding You. I don't know if anyone knows the song.
No.
Oh, yes, I can do that. Holding You.
What
So
was it on?
it was on Enter the Dru. It was the second album, Enter the Dru.
Was it a Candle in the Air type track?
No. Yeah, Holding You. It was no. It was yeah. Let me see if I'm sure I can play a little bit about it and.
Ah.
Never heard it.
Yeah, I just I was listening to it and I was like, oh man, this song, the whole story, the vibe, So yeah, Holding You is Dru Hill's second best song ever. Bottoms up. Well done, Mac. Second best song ever. Look at that. Is that number 2 for me?
Three beers, and cheers from Mac. Cheers and beers from Mac.
Yeah, I think if you can go back and listen to it on Enter the Dru, it is just such a vibe. And it has jazz singing a lot of it, that you have Cisco coming in and out, but not really maintaining it. It's Jazz is telling the story, because he's a co-writer on that. Then Cisco pops in and out, but it is just oh goodness. I'm like, okay, and that's what I liked about Dru Hill, is that they sonically you got different varieties of them singing on songs. It's a pity that their first 2 albums were great. Marcos, that's an album filler. Okay, so yes, that's number 2 for me. All right, go ahead. What's your number 2?
Well, my number 2 is my favorite Dru Hill song ever. First time I heard it when it came out, I was obsessed. I'm still obsessed. And that's Beauty. Like that's like one of the best like love songs, slow songs, song dedicated to a woman. The best, hands down.
Play a bit of Beauty, Namdi. I can't remember that track. Get it on your phone. 30 seconds. Make sure YouTube doesn't copyright. So obviously the ladies like this track. Oh yeah, it's a candle in the air type track. Raise the candle.
Yeah.
Sway from side to side.
Oh
And then
goodness!
fall
So that's.
asleep and get a good night's sleep listening to that track.
So what did you put at number 2 then?
Number 2 is my final pick for Dru Hill. So they made it all the way to number 2. And
Yes,
and this goes back to my clubbing, my night clubbing. I used to go, believe it or not, I used to go night clubbing back in the days, back in my early 20s days when I could shake a leg or two.
We've seen the videos.
I've gone, and I do it week in, week out in a club. This and it's big remix, and it's In My Bed. That big So Deaf mix. Big, big memories of this hearing it in a club week in, week out. Dum dum dum. And, Cisco sounded amazing. He did. To be fair, on his vocal on that remix was a killer, absolute killer. In my bed. Yeah, great mix. Classic, real classic mix that.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, Derek from Minneapolis. Okay, Ade, what's number 2?
My number 2 is also In My Bed. However,
Yes.
I prefer the ballad rather than
Oh no!
I love the
Yeah. No, but I think the ballad was really strong, and then they did so it's easy to remember either one of them. And the ballads kind of stay. That ballads are like fine wine. They even if after a while you listen to them, they're still strong up there.
Can you play a bit of the ballad mix, Namdi? I can't remember what the ballad mix sounds like. Let's have 20 seconds of the old ballad on that. Oh yeah.
Now don't try to tell me things are still the same.
Yeah.
Cause when we made love, I heard you call out his name. Call out his name. Somebody's sleeping in my bed.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. We're down to so number 1. So before we get to number 1, I'll put some honorable mentions. Songs that there were honorable mentions. Good Luck Charm by Jagged Edge didn't get in there, but it was close. You Are Everything by Dru Hill was also close. Jagged Edge, The Way You Talk was close to getting in. Dru Hill, How Deep Is Your Love featuring Redman. I think that was off the Rush Hour soundtrack. Dru Hill's These Are the Times. Jagged Edge, You Hurt Me. That made honorable mentions. And then the final one was 5 Steps by Dru Hill. The honorable mention didn't quite get into my top 12. So number 12 was He Can't Love You by Jagged Edge. Number 11 was Promise by Jagged Edge. Number 10 is Dru Hill's Never Make a Promise. Number 9 was Jagged Edge, I Gotta Be. Number 8 was Dru Hill's We're Not Making Love No More. Number 7 is Dru Hill's Tell Me. Number 6 is Jagged Edge, Where the Party's At, featuring Nelly. Number 5 was Jagged Edge's Let's Get Married, and that's either ballad or up-tempo remix. Number 4 was Jagged Edge, Walk Out of Heaven. Number 3 is Dru Hill, In My Bed, which we just listened to. Number 2 was Dru Hill's Holding You. And number 1 is a song that I just thought was just one of the most amazing tracks, which unfortunately they didn't release as a single. But Beautiful is such a beautiful song.
Wow.
And that's my number 1. Dio put it number 1 as well. Beautiful by Dru Hill is just
Beauty?
like on another planet. It is like, wow.
Beautiful or beauty?
Sorry, it's beauty. That's the word, beautiful.
Okay.
I don't know why I said beautiful. That's why I was just, yeah.
Because it's a beautiful song.
It is, yeah, beautiful song. Yeah, beautiful is a beautiful song. I remember interviewing Kenny Whitehead, and he was saying, "Oh, did I no, sorry. It was Woody I was interviewing, and then he and Kenny sent a message. I think I was going live, and Kenny was like, tell Woody that Beauty was a song that at the Whitehead Brothers we would just sing backstage before we do shows." And I hadn't really heard the song that much until I went back and listened to the album, and I was like, wow, this was just such an amazing track. I wish they'd released as a single, but I think, if you think about the singles they did release, they probably didn't think much of it, but that is such a big one.
Beauty is amazing. Yes.
Yeah. Beauty is amazing. Yes. All right. All right, Lorena, you do your honorable mentions and your
All right. So some of the songs that didn't make my list, it was really hard making these lists because I like both groups. But Walked Out of Heaven is one by Jagged Edge.
Oh, you didn't make your top 12?
No, it didn't.
Wow.
But I love that song, as well as Hard, which is the title track from their album Hard.
That's a good track.
It's a really good
Very
track.
good track.
Good Luck Charm is another one. And then for Dru Hill, I had We're Not Making Love, Never Make a Promise. And this one is like, it's different, but I actually like the song when it came out, which is Love MD by Dru Hill. So that's my honorable mentions. And so now going through the list of my top 12. 12 is Angel by Dru Hill. Number 11 is Love Come Down by Jagged Edge. Number 10 is He Can't Love You by Jagged Edge. Number 9, These Are the Times by Dru Hill. Number 8, I Love You by Dru Hill. Number 7, Remedy by Jagged Edge. Number 6, Tell Me by Dru Hill. Number 5, Visions by Jagged Edge. Number 4, In My Bed, So Def Remix by Dru Hill. Number 3, Let's Get Married, the original and the remix by Jagged Edge. Number 2 is Beauty by Dru Hill. And my number 1 song, which a lot of you picked, but put it higher in your list or lower in your list, it's Promise by Jagged Edge. That is.
Wow. Wow, it's a good pick. Very good pick.
Oh.
Very good pick.
Okay. Stevie, what are your honorable mentions before you?
I don't even think I've got an honourable mention for Dru Hill, I'll be honest. Maybe these are the times because that slipped out, but I was sleeping listening to that. I've got one honourable mention for Jagged Edge, and that's from the Jagged Little Thrill album. And it's a track called Can We Be Tight? It's got a vocoder in it, talk box. That really stood out to me. Number 12, Dru Hill, Never Make a Promise. Number 11, Dru Hill, So Special. Number 10, Dru Hill, Do You Believe? Number 9, Dru Hill, Remain Silent. And you're thinking I'm hating on Dru Hill here because it's the 4th straight. But as you know, they made my top 5. Number 8, Jagged Edge, Walked Out of Heaven. Number 7, Jagged Edge, Promise. Number 6, Jagged Edge, What It's Like. Number 5, Jagged Edge, Can I Get With You? Number 4, Jagged Edge, Ready and Willing. That could have been my number 1, actually. Number 3, Dru Hill, Tell Me. Number 2, Dru Hill, In My Bed, So Def Remix. And my number 1, what I remember about this is when I actually finally got a copy of Jagged Edge's first album, before I'd even before I even played the album, I was looking at the track list. And there's one particular track, and I thought, the title of it, and I thought, nah, it can't be. There's no way it can be. And you know what? It was. 1989, Gap Band, on one of their albums, did a track called Wednesday Lover. And that was always a big favourite track of mine from that. It was always, if you're a soul connoisseur, if you're really into your soul music, you know all about that. You probably bought that Gap Band album for that track. So I was like, there's no way they could have done this track. And they did. It came on that It's almost like a Jam and Lewis piano intro. Straight away, the chords. I was like, "Oh, they've done it!" And then the bass line drops in. Boom, 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 boom. I was like, "Oh my god, JD got it right. He actually got it right on this." So my number one is not that I think it's the best song out of any tracks Jagged Edge and Dru Hill have done. This blows it away, and it's not even their song. It's not even their song. This is the best song. Nobody's picked it, but it's Jagged Edge. Wednesday Lover, easily my killer track. Andy's there going, don't know this track. I don't know. He's going to have to go.
I listened to everything they had. It was just too much. But
you're on the soul side of R&B. You get this track. You know it. If you're more on the R&B side of it, you're like, oh, I don't remember that. No.
Okay.
Stick it on, Namdi. Stick it on for 30 seconds. Just play the intro. It's a very Jam and Lewis start.
And what album is it on?
It's on the first album. Yeah.
I'm
amazed you didn't. I thought you'd have picked up on that track.
Jagged Era.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm just trying to see.
No.
Oh no!
Start from the beginning. The way it starts, Namdi, please.
Yeah, no, it was no. Yeah, I did listen to it, but it's. Yeah. Okay. All right. Dave, go on. Honorable mentions, and then.
My honorable mentions for Dru Hill, if I could do the whole list with them, I would. However, I do love Jagged Edge though. So. One good reason. No, I said one good reason. Love's Train.
Oh, that was a good one. Yeah, that was a really good one.
Yes. All night.
No doubt. Oh, yeah, that was the. So I said
that was a cover version.
Yeah, but they have a range and they sound different. I prefer that to Wednesday Lover. Yeah, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Share My World, Angel, How Deep Is Your Love, Never Make a Promise, and These Are the Things. No, I mentioned Never Make a Promise. Never mind. These Are the Things. And for Jagged Edge, it's not their song technically, but they're on it a lot. Don't Mess With My Man.
Is that the name?
I love that song, and Where the Party At. Didn't make my list either. But my we're doing 1 through 12, right? What we did
12 to 1, yeah.
12 Healing, Jagged Edge, Can I Get With You, Jagged Edge, One Good Reason, Dru Hill, Let's Get Married, both versions for Jagged Edge, Never Make a Promise, number 8 for Dru Hill, 7 We're Not Making Love No More, Dru Hill, 6 Jagged Edge, Promise. Walked Out of Heaven for number 5, Tell Me for number 4, Beauty number 3, In My Bed number 2, and for number 1, I just feel like personally a lot of people are not touching Dru Hill on their music videos. I don't know who their directors is. I should have researched that, but their music videos are like cinematic masterpieces to me. But number 1, 5 Steps, Dru Hill.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay.
We've got a tie there, Namdi. We've got a tie going here. 2 for Dru Hill, 2 for Jagged Edge. Number 1. We've got a tie on the podcasting. It's all neck and neck.
Yeah. But I think just like but it's like what song was in the top 3 for most of us, and it would be I would say it was Beauty.
Yeah, Beauty.
Yeah, I think we majority of us placed that as high as possible. So even though we all have a different number 1, well, I'm doing one I had at number 1. I think that in itself was the probably the most successful track out there. Yes. I mean, how hard was it to do this stuff?
Dru Hill was tough.
Yeah,
I'm
really
still looking
tough.
at my list like, am I sure?
No, Stevie. I think
It was tough for different reasons.
yeah, tough for different reasons. Because your tough, Stevie, is different from the rest of us. Because you did. I don't know if you even listened to the album. You just like, but for me, it was like, okay, man, how am I going to narrow down? How am I going to narrow down all these massive songs and actually leave some of these out? I just okay. Um, but I mean, yeah, I didn't. But I do have to commend Jagged Edge for their longevity, but also the fact that they stayed together as long and as much as they have. Because
You got to
that is
commend
def-
Dru Hill for still being out there performing. Whatever lineup it is, they're still out there performing as well. So you got to commend them.
yeah, yes,
The brand's still going.
yes, definitely. Yes. I'm just trying to. Okay. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you can't deny that they're still trying their stuff. Um, but yeah, it's definitely good to see that these groups are still out there singing and stuff. I think Dru Hill, Tony Braxton, and Boys to Men are in the UK this week.
Yeah, they're in
Um,
Manchester next weekend. They are in Manchester
okay.
next weekend.
Yeah. I went to them last year. Who did Drew Boys to Blackstreet, Music Soul Child, Dru Hill, Donnell Jones. I think 702 and Changing Faces. Well, there was only one original member of Changing Faces. There was about 6 or 7. And I was sitting because Eric from Blackstreet got put me on the guest list to come down. So I'm sitting watching, and I think I called you, Stevie, during the show, saying I'm bored because I was just listening and watching and thinking it's because I was
Yeah, but
fortunate.
you only a sound check, Namdi. It's not, if there'd have been a
No,
crowd
this
there,
was
you might
this
have the
was
energy.
this was the actual show. So I
Really?
was sitting
I thought it
there.
was a sound
Yeah.
check you was at.
No, when I was calling you up, I was watching the main show, and I was like, "Oh, Stevie, this
Wow.
is." Because if you think about being there in the 90s when there was, Maxwell was singing, you heard Maxwell on stage singing something and for the first time, because this is or Brian McKnight was singing from his first album in a venue, or when the Fugees first come out and you're in a music convention and there's about 100 of you listening to it. Oh boy. So you're watching them sing the songs and they're selling it because they want it to be on the chart. That was very different. But when you see them now, it's like, okay, backing tracks, we'll do some moves. And I was like, I'm not inspired. Not many of them use live band. Now, Dru Hill, they did their stuff, but I'm like, well, that's just half. You're not the real, all of you there. So I went backstage and I was hanging out, and that felt better. But yeah,
You'd have enjoyed that H-Town that I went to in April. You would definitely have enjoyed that. Because I didn't want to go because it was a night of ballads. I said to me, mate, you're dragging me all the way down to London for 4 hours of ballads. And I thought, nah, but I enjoyed it, mate.
Yeah, and I've seen them. I've seen H-Town. They put on they at the in London 2 years ago. It was almost like a circus with people on stilts and the lights all over the place. So they do put on a show. But it's different for me to be able to enjoy it the same way that you would when they first came out and stuff. But anyway, it was definitely great having the 4 of us on this show. We'll definitely. Okay, they just disappeared. We definitely have to make time. Okay. So you had left the building, just like, okay, that's it. I'm doing now.
She's having connection issues, I think.
Okay. Are you okay? Are you back?
Yeah, I can hear y'all now.
You can hear us back, yeah. Okay. So we will find a time for the Fantastic Four to reunite. Next weekend, Sunday, Jackie McGee is coming on, and she volunteered Mary J. Blige's "Share My World" to review. That's my all-time favorite Mary album. So 4:30 Eastern, 9:30 UK time. Share My World. And Jackie
that'll be fun.
She'll also be able to talk about some of the ongoing stuff with Salt from Salt and Pepper. So that's been resolved. But she will also shed light on that. But to be able to talk about that album, and I think, yes, we're fast approaching Christmas, so we will come up with other albums out in the new year as well. But we always appreciate you guys.
We've got our Christmas special coming. Maybe I can persuade Namdi to let some of the live viewers come on and say Merry Christmas. Maybe we can persuade him.
Yes, but I think but we will probably we could try and also fit an R&B podcast before the end of the year, midweek or something like that. But we'll talk and debate that. But anyway, guys, appreciate everyone that joins in. Too many to mention. I was just about to mention them. 112. Are you? Well, that's 112. Well, hopefully we can do that in the new year stuff. But anyway, we appreciate everyone, and let me try and get myself sorted out. And then Olivia Noon, what's her name? Olivia something?
Who's that?
Olivia Dean.
Olivia Dean. Okay, I will check that out. So check out A Day's Diary, both on Instagram and YouTube. Stevie Street _ on YouTube, and Total R&B on YouTube. Definitely amazing R&B art to listen to.
See you next Sunday night. Live.
See you guys.
See ya.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of Halftime Chat. Please remember to subscribe, share, and comment. But most importantly, why don't you become a member of Halftime Chat? We've got amazing videos, amazing perks, and being able to support the channel. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care.
I never participated in that kind of.
And somewhere in between.
For even loving us, on which I didn't miss you with.